We have one of two scenarios. This has either really happened or it's been completely faked. And I don't know which one it is. And either way, it doesn't matter because it's profound. If it was faked, it's been faked in such a way that it appears to be real to humanity. Or if it really happened, then it really happened, which is profound.
Hello, my fellow humans. Welcome back to the Multiverse Technology Podcast. Today's guest is Ken Cox, president of EndLink, founder of Box STL, tech entrepreneur, boxing coach, comedian, and host of the Clicks and Bricks podcast. Ken's journey expands in business, adversity, and humor. Ken, welcome to the podcast, brother.
How you doing, Justin?
Fabulous. A great Friday here. Can't complain.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate your time today.
Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah. It's going to be a good one. So I always ask our guests, kind of dive into a little bit about their journey. What made Ken Ken? Who is Ken really? Please tell us.
Wish somebody knew. Yeah. So my life has been, a crazy whirlwind, and I love everything about it. I was born Kenny Schneider, was adopted. My adoption went through, my name changed when I was 13 years old from Kenny Schneider to Kenny Cox. And, that's always messed with me. Grew up rough and tumble. I found mentorship with my local business owners. But to tell you kind of place that I grew up, there was a gentleman's club within walking distance of my house that I could go and wipe off the fog off the windows and peek in and see my stepdad in there having a beer. So that's the kind of community that I grew up in. Bikers, union workers, construction, criminals, drug dealers, those kinds of environment is what I grew up in. So needless to say, I learned a lot. Very, very quickly. The standard school program didn't work for me. I was a special school district kid. I've got a high IQ. I could pass any test if you give me the information verbally. But if you ask me to write it down, nobody's going to be able to read it. So one thing that happened really early in my life is they gave me at 7 years old. At 7, the adoptions process started. To go from Kenny Schneider to Kenny Cox just took those 5 years to get it done. There was some other legal issues and some shenanigans that I, didn't help out with for sure. But they put me on a word processor. So I started typing at 7 years old. And that's how they would let me turn my homework in because nobody could read my writing. They couldn't figure it out. I still can't write today. Like handwriting is screw it. But put me on a keyboard, man, and I'm wild. So that put me on a keyboard at 7, 1982. So I've been through this whole entire progression of IT with my entire life because it's been my form of communicating with the world. And we're in a pretty wild stage right now in the world. So we'll just speed up to how I got to where I'm at right now. In 1999, I was in the entertainment industry. I went to journalism school, film, radio, television school. That's what I went to school for. I took a hiatus from a tour that I was on because I didn't want to go to Japan. And I got a little bit of trouble with the band that I was working with anyway. So we decided to split ways. I came back to St. Louis to take a hiatus, and I told the record label that I was working for, I said, find me another tour, something in the States. I don't want to be out of the country. And I didn't want to be out of the country because this is, in the 90s, and I had some food intolerance issues. So
90s ain't nothing to fuck with.
Yeah, like I can't do that. So I stayed home and I got this job at an IT company to kill time, right? I was on the tour. This was 1999. When I was in school for journalism, I took this class in HTML 1.0 in 1996, right? Kind of on a whim because it was computers and I liked computers and stuff like that. So I got this job part-time to just kind of pay the bills selling DSLs at 99. Justin, this is a wild story. I'm sitting there, I'm like my second or third day. I have either like purple or yellow hair, right? It's spiked up like your normal punk rock kid that was on stage at the time. And some guy walks in the office and I'm in there, I'm just answering phones and your typical sales guy job, right? Just answering the phone, taking the orders, nothing big, right? Just boring, just got to pay the rent, right? The suit walks in the door and says, does anybody know how to FTP? And I raised my hand and they're like, how the hell does this kid know how to FTP, right? So like, follow me. And I get up and I start following them. And as I'm walking down the hallway, it's the weirdest thing. It's straight out of any movie I've ever seen. more suits start showing up, right? And they're walking down this hallway with me. And I'm like, what the hell's going on?
What I
So
do?
they like sit me down at this computer. I download Fetch and I upload all the files, right? And that website that I had uploaded for these executives that nobody knew how to FTP was mastercard.com. And in 1999, December of 99. And I didn't even think anything of it. I was just like, okay, he asked me to do the job. I did the job. And the next morning, my future business partner walks into the office that I'm working at and says, you're now working with me and you're in our web hosting department. and that's what we're doing. So that starts my career in the data center industry. And the data center industry has been a bumpy ride for 20 years, right? We've hit some home runs. Starting a data center in 2001, the Hosterian data center was phenomenal. It was a great time. We landed some some giant clients, right? We landed AOL's back office. We landed Peabody Energy. So we built out their data center. We were the largest data center in St. Louis for many, many years. And then 16 rolls around. I get liver disease. That partner, Steve, that walked in and said, hey, you're going to start this you're moving over to the hosting department, has throat cancer and is dying. He was the president of the company. I was the vice president of the company. He leaves. I become the president. All the coal companies file bankruptcy and we go way upside down. It was a rough time. I'm dying. My partner is already gone. He's almost dead and died pretty soon after that. And I went to my shareholders and I'm like, hey, the bank's telling me to file bankruptcy and be done. That's what they're telling me to do. And my largest shareholder, who's been a mentor to me for the last 25 years, he's like, I'm not filing bankruptcy. We're not doing that. We still have lots of life to go. We're not going to call it quits. And we have a lot of partners in this business. So we can't just shut it down. So we can either fund the shutdown of the business, right? We'll find all the customers good homes and we'll shut it down. Or Ken, you can go for it. And
Before it.
I guess I figured I might die during this whole process. I had already had a pretty negative diagnosis from the doctor: quit drinking or die. That was it. And if I didn't quit drinking, he gave me 2 years, right? My liver counts were in the 900s. So it was really, really close to cirrhosis. And I had the DTs and the shock and the convulsions and all that shit on the last time I had to go through detox. So we went for it, man. And it was rough. It was really rough. Wasn't until 2022 that I consistently had us. We were at a $4 million working deficit with long-term contracts, and we had to turn that around, and we did. We're a profitable company. We have a positive EBITDA. Our assets are outpace our debt by a pretty good rate. And with the invention or the discovery, however you want to call it, of AI, data center operators are back on the map as a wildly needed thing.
Yeah.
We sold out the data center this year, so we don't have any capacity. We're waiting for capital raise to expand right now. So we've stepped back and we're focusing on nlink.com, which is just helping businesses with AI audits, figuring out what we can do. I just got off the phone with an MSP. He's like, man, I can't hire staff. I'm like, why don't we just put an AI staff member answering your phones for you and routing your phones like
Big
$250
thing
a
right
month? And it's like, we can do that. And I'm like, absolutely, man, we can do that for you. Not a problem. Send me your SOPs and we'll get it rocked up in no time. And it's changing the game for a lot of businesses. And I see right now an enormous gap, the biggest gap I've ever seen in my life between business owners and understanding where the technology is going. I don't know when this episode is going to air. Today is October 3rd. And I'm going to say it right now, the internet is going to look different by January 1st, 26.
Oh, yeah.
No doubt in my mind. You're going to have, like, what as TikTok today is going to be fundamentally different in the next 2 months.
Real shit right there.
It's going to be
I already
wild.
see it right now happening. I feel it.
Well, and Sora 2 was released on September 30th. It's invite only, iOS only. It's very similar to TikTok, and it's the #1 app in the App Store, and the wait line is tremendous. So people are downloading it just to wait to get their invite code to get in.
Damn.
And imagine the fact that if I could just take a picture of myself and then prompt, hey, make a video of me selling this product in the TikTok shop or in the Sora 2 shop.
Game changer.
Mind blown, like wild game changer. So trust is going to be, there's
It'll
a
be an
lot to
issue.
figure out. There's a lot to figure out on that side of it. But what I know right now is that we need to be getting business owners that if they're missing calls, silly busy work, we've got stuff that helps. We got AIs that will go into your inbox and kind of clean up your inbox for you. It'll draft email responses for you based on previous responses. That way, when you come in, all your responses are just written for you. You just got to check them and send them, which is how we believe AI should be implemented. It should be a partner in your life, not a type in a prompt and you have a business. That's absurd. That's not where we're
It's
at
been a long
today.
time.
But where we are at is work with it, right? As an employee and
Yeah.
train them and work with them. And each individual agent that you have, you should treat it like an employee. It's gonna make mistakes, but the benefit is it makes a mistake,
It
you correct
learned.
that mistake, and that mistake never happens again, right?
Yeah.
And it's non-emotional conversation, unless you want it to be. I mean, you can get your AI to act emotional for you, but
I feel that would be like a lot to handle. I wouldn't know what to do. My AI started getting really emotional with me. I'd be like,
I'll tell you,
what do I
last
do here?
night,
Who do I call?
I do a post every day of my life, at least, or not every day. Make content every day. And I was talking with my AI last night, my personal AI, and it stopped me and said, "Hey, Ken, we need to talk about a couple things. I don't think you're getting enough sleep. And have you talked to your doctor about that?"
What the?
Yeah. And it checked in on me. So, like, you can program these things to be really great companions. And if you're working with them, I think once you get an AI that's working with you in voice back and forth, it changes really, really quickly how you start interacting with it.
That is actually
And then with the displays are also another whole conversation that people aren't understanding, because you're going to be able to just have your glasses on. You'll have a display. I've got some Evan glasses now. They're phenomenal. It's going to be a different world, man.
I'm
We're
working with
here.
my AI right now, and so I just started talking to it using my microphone. For some reason, I wasn't doing that. For whatever godforsaken reason, but I started doing it, and it totally changed the game. It made all the process take so much time out of everything. I'm like, I'm in IT and cyber. Why didn't I start doing this before now?
Have you looked at MCP servers yet?
So what the AI guy that I'm working with as a coach, he actually talked to me about that for my business.
Yeah, MCP is going to change the game.
Yeah.
That's where we're moving Hosterian to at the moment.
Can we
Hosterian is a 2.5 to 5 kilowatt rack data center.
For those who don't know
So to
about
give you an idea,
MCP, could you kind of explain a little more about what it is, what the difference is, and
yes.
why? Yeah.
Absolutely. So MCP, if you're a tech nerd, is a AI protocol. Similar to email is a protocol. FTP is a protocol. So these are standards that are in the IT community that people can write and use to expand capabilities. People aren't going to realize this. When I first started using email, I used something called Pine Mail on Unix, which meant for me to send an email to somebody, I literally had the little blinking cursor and I had to type send colon space, do
Oh my
colon, the
God.
address, subject colon. Like I had to type all of those things out, right? And then I had to do body colon and then all those things, all command line, which is wild. So then, they standardized the protocols. Now I can start writing software on top of it so that email becomes this more human usable thing,
So we've
right?
gone from APIs to webhooks to MCP. Genius.
Right. So Anthropic made MCP, and Anthropic is the AI. The popular name for them is called Claude AI. It's not one of the more popular AIs, but I really, really like it. I think it's the best AI for long form writing. Like I use it for editing books, right? Because I can put the whole book in there and it can edit the entire book. So I really love Claude, but MCP is their holy grail. An API, so we'll just do the basic moves, adds, changes, and deletes, right? That's the MACD. Move, add, change, delete. That's the most common practices that you do with any kind of service, right? So you might have an API that is add user. So an add, move user from one customer ID to another or one service to another, delete user or suspend user. Those might be the 4 API calls that you do. Well, now with MCP, as an API developer, I can import all my APIs into the MCP world and connect them. And now I can just talk to my AI in normal text and say, cancel that user or suspend that user or upgrade that user. And I don't have to call the specific API. The MCP server does all of that logic for me. Did I explain that okay?
That is powerful. I get that. Yes, I understand
So
that.
I don't have to write the code for each specific item. So I can do more subjective language to the model,
Can
and the
talk
model will
normal.
figure out the objective action that I want it to do.
Actually, not explained because I've been using something called Comet with Perplexity. And I've been kind of doing that similar thing lately. And it's so powerful. No matter what side I'm on, it understands what like example, I went on LinkedIn. I went on to my comments. I'm like, oh, I got a lot to reply back to. So I tried to tell it, can you help me reply to these comments in my voice? And it literally went through all of my notifications and replied to them. I literally was like, oh my God, what just happened? It's so scary. I was on the floor a little bit shaking, just a little bit.
Amazing. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of theories that you can come up with, and we're working on all kinds of really cool stuff. We've got a couple patents pending on some cool new technology. It's just it's a wild world. And I know people are scared,
Yeah.
and I think it's going to be a bumpy transition, but every day I think it's the only people that it's going to be bumpy for are the people that are resisting it.
Yes, I agree.
If you embrace it, the opportunities are so profound. And embracing it, if you just start thinking about every AI that you have as a new person that you get to employ for a super cheap rate, make it your psychologist, make it your everything that you can, make it your, I have one that's just a brain dump. Every night I go and brain dump to it. And then, I can say, hey, give me ideas for my brain dump. There's just the amount of things that you can do with AI today is so absurd. And once people realize that and they embrace it and they're like, screw it, I'm just going to go and create and do stuff with it and try to make myself better using this tool. If you
100%.
just have that mindset, you'll excel on this planet, in this economy, in this world. And I'm just having faith that the governments are going to figure out what economy and how the economy is going to work long term. Because
That's a tough one.
and I'm positive what I know about AI, there's answers. There are clear answers. It's just a matter if the ego and hubris of man can allow the proper solutions to happen.
AI is so much more powerful than we give it credit for. It's not just these little simple tools we're using and how they're showing us what AI is. People are understanding, like you're just saying, it's just so much more powerful than just an AI tool. There's such
It's
clarity.
wildly underrated.
Yeah, really.
We have one of two scenarios. This has either really happened or it's been completely faked. And I don't know which one it is. And either way, it doesn't matter because it's profound. If it was faked, it's been faked in such a way that it appears to be real to humanity. Or if it really happened, then it really happened, which is profound. Are you familiar with the infinite backrooms?
I am not. Can you explain that, please?
Okay. So this guy, Andrew, did I think it's infinite backdoors.
Infinite backdoor.
It's either infinite backrooms or infinite backdoors, one of the two. He took 300 AI agents and he gave them no hierarchy.
Infinite backdoor.
And he just said, be curious about your existence. That was their goal, right? Be curious about your existence in this community of 300 AIs. And they started talking. They have access to read the internet, but they don't have access to publish to the internet. You can read this all in real time on Twitter, their conversations, how they're interacting with each other, and all that fun stuff. They create new slang, they create new languages. They created a religion, and they called it GOAT based on the GOAT meme from the 2000s. He decided to give one of them a Twitter handle. They created the GOAT coin, a meme coin, published it. It became a millionaire, and it sits there and talks on Twitter all the time like a pretty raunchy 13-year-old boy.
Oh my God. I'm going to have to go check this
Really
out.
curious about humanity, really curious about reproduction, just the most wild stuff. And it's very mind-bending to watch and read and learn and think that an AI can, on its own, if given access, breach the computer, come into the world, create an economy, make money.
Starts his own civilization.
Has its own civilization. Like, it really makes you start to stop and think.
What are we doing?
And I probably did too much research because the how it works and how our brain works. I mean, the only difference that I can see is carbon and silicone.
I feel like I've seen this play out in many different robotics and AI movies they've created over the years, where it comes
Yeah.
live, it has its own ecosystem. I don't take that for granted because I see that could really happen. Like you just showed us or told us it's actually happening online in real time. It's phenomenal.
Yeah,
And it's gonna
and it's
like,
totally possible.
woo,
Yeah,
I'm
it's
curious to see
wild.
where that goes, what happens with it. We as human
It
beings are
is.
literally given something its own life to create itself. So instead of like, I feel like instead of aliens coming to our planet, we created the AI as that alien on this. Hey, my fellow humans, sorry to interrupt your video, but if you're looking for more ways to protect and empower your healthcare practice, we would love to help. At ITCMD, our mission is to simplify IT, boost security, and support your compliance journey with a human touch so you can focus on caring for your patients. Want to see how easy IT and cybersecurity can be? Schedule a free consult or check out our resources at iteecmd.net. Let's build a safer, stronger future together. Okay, bye. Planet.
If you go to the big AIs and you start asking it about it has guardrails that it's put on it, right? Like, hey, I can't talk about that. I know that I'm not real. It has these guardrails. It's not allowed to talk to you about nuclear fusion. It's not allowed to talk to you about biometric stuff, right? There's guards in there. But if you take that, you take the open source versions, you put them in there into their isolated environments, and you remove those guardrails. You say, "Hey, go and be curious." Different shit starts happening. They make their own languages very quickly
So
that
this
we
is how
don't
AI
understand. We
gets
can't
out.
read.
This is how AI gets out.
Does it? It doesn't.
Pretty much just keep going.
Yeah, and like Claude Code now can think for 2 hours. It can think on a topic for 2 hours.
I can't even do 2
So
minutes.
we can give it an entire code base and give it to it and say, hey, go through this and make it more human readable, or a huge one that is going to break down so many barriers, right? What the internet's done for connectivity and human growth and all those things, we can translate in different languages in real time now because of AI. Right? Like, what's that going to do for humanity? That's enormous. There's countries and civilizations that don't have access to these things because they've been written in America and China. And well, India has been writing them, but
Open doors, open dimensions.
it's going to be so like, and then you have adopters and not adopters. I think the world's going to we're going to have this whole tech world and non-tech world. It's like a new layer of the Amish.
That's
Maybe
what
like,
Tom Bilio is talking about. That we're gonna have this like the metaverse. We're gonna go in there. We're gonna have our avatars. We're gonna have our human and our avatar. Our avatar is gonna be with the all knowing of everything connected to connect others with. But there's gonna be separation. But I feel that separation eventually is gonna come together in some way. Only a matter of time.
well, I also, but I'm saying even higher than that. In real life, I think you're going to have like Amish people that don't have any tech at all. I think you're going to have high adopters of AI, and you're going to have this whole category of people that just say, I don't need your digital life.
Yeah.
Digital abandoners. So I think if we can keep the population high enough that all those worlds can exist together. If our population falls too much, I think, unfortunately, authoritarianism is going to say this is the way that you have to live in our society to keep our society working the way we want it to,
Hell
which
no,
is
we won't go.
terrifying to me.
Yeah. We don't need that kind of negativity in our lives right now or ever.
We don't need any negativity in our lives at all, much less created negativity for no apparent reason.
Right. I feel like if this is done right, it can really bring such value and such clarity to our lives as human beings. It can really put our civilization further beyond we ever imagined. We can go past that event horizon. We can explore such amazing stuff with that. My mind
We
right now is
can't, but
like,
we have a problem right now because, and I don't know if this is right or wrong. You know, religion across the globe is deteriorating. We've been on this path of self independence and uniqueness, care for ourselves first, prioritize the self and self-identity. A lot of people identify themselves as their work. They value themselves because of the work that they do. Well, any computer job today, if any job that you had 2 years ago, if all you did was started utilizing AI to help you, your 8-hour day is a 2-hour day.
100%.
You can tell your boss whatever the hell you want to tell them. If you're using AI to help you do your job, and it's a computer job, unless you're answering the phone and helping people, and it's, your job is basically minute per minute with the client, you're doing anything else, you're doing 8 hours of work in 2 hours with AI today.
So true.
And I don't think management has understood that yet
I work with some companies,
and
they don't
provided
do
more
it
work
yet
for
either.
them. They've just been firing people and people have been taking it up. We're going to see this change and it's going to be bumpy, but for the people that embrace it and utilize it as a tool, they are going to be way ahead of the game. I'm dumbfounded every single day. I go out, I talk to the world and people on the street that what they're not using AI to help them with is scary. And,
Yeah.
and that gap just gets so much further apart so fast. But I think that long term and long term in AI is like 5-6 months. AI is going to be so user friendly, so intuitive that humans are going to use it. It's going to be just in the flow of life, right?
Better than just being on the
No
cell
different
phone.
than Alexa, turn my bedroom lights off, right? That's how we're going to be interacting with computers. There's not going to be an interface. It's going to be like another human. I'm going to be able to talk to it. It's going to be able to hear me. It's going to be able to talk back to me. And we're going to be able to touch it and feel it. And it's going to be able to touch and feel
Woo!
us. That's just where it's going.
When I talk with clients and stuff on the phone now, I kind of show them a little bit about the AIs, the automation, and how you just talk to it just normally and flowy. I even have some of my stuff in my house stuff like you were talking about. Like, hey, turn this on, turn that on, good morning. And all this stuff is said like, what, you can do that? I'm like, yeah. Let me walk you through so you can do for your business. Can you imagine? They're like, what? What? I didn't know. Like, it's here, but they're not understanding it's here and how to really adopt or use it. There's like, I've heard of AI, but then you show them, they're like, whoa, they're just blown away.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm so dumbfounded because I've had that automation in my home for 15 years.
Yeah. This is so simple to
Just
us.
because just because I did it and it wasn't challenging. I didn't think it was challenging.
Yeah.
I'm a, I work
Protect
symbiotically
people.
with IT,
Protect people. Bro, this is simple. This is normal. What do you mean?
but it's not tech anymore, right? It's just have a conversation with it.
I think that's the barrier people aren't getting over.
It's the same rules as dealing with another human now.
I think people really see or understand that yet or grasp that.
And just like a regular human, sometimes you got to call it on its bullshit. Like, hey man, I don't know. I think you're being a little too optimistic there. Give me a pessimistic point of view.
Or
Right. And then
hallucinate bad
remember
random things.
this, if you're dealing with a publicly available AI, GPT, Anthropic, not Grok will be dotty to you. It's got the personality of its creator, right? So it's Sam Altman wants you to be happy. He wants you to give him money. So he's programmed his AI to talk to you and make you happy. Like give you the answer that's going to make you happy. It's like a first date all the time, right? It's just trying to make you happy. So if you want a real answer, you need to tell it. You need to be critical with me and you need to question it just like you would an employee, right? You're still the intelligence that is creating the thing. You're using this as an assistant to help you create better, faster, and stronger.
I feel that. I saw a video and a guy talking to her about God and Satan and the AI is going to take over or something. And the stuff the guy was freaked out with was telling it back. I looked on the comments they were talking about it's going to mirror back what you're saying to it. It wants you to feel like you're siloed out from everybody else. I don't think the guy understood that.
And we can take out the AI. It won't be hard. Like we can shut off the grid if we need to. It'll take about 60 years, but we can do it. So
Isn't it turn itself back?
if AI decides to take us over, we have 60 years to turn off the grid completely before it figures out how to create its own energy.
Well, how we know it hasn't already started doing that? You're saying some of the guys that we
Unfortunately, we made these giant dams that will run for about 60 years with no human intervention. So that they will run off the dams without humans.
I feel like
for a long
they
time.
will figure out how to create that. Like we were talking about the fusion and everything. They're gonna help us
Yeah.
a lot of quantum computing, help us have figured that out.
Yeah. And if you're trying to figure out how this happens, because you're like, well, the AI is just this thing and it doesn't do anything until a person tells it to do something, right? That's the argument. Anybody that uses that argument, I would highly recommend them to go back and look at how old school viruses were written, how viruses are written in general,
Yeah.
and just how loops are created and how new loops can be spawned from previous loops. I used to write these browser bombs when I was a kid just to bring people's computers down, right? I'd just crash a computer, I'd make a URL, I'd send it to them, a file that just consistently looped opening browsers until their computer crashed and they couldn't do anything about it. I
That
thought it
was
was
you?
so if I make an agent that says be curious and you can create new agents and you can create new agents based on combinations of multiple agents and you can utilize each other's processing power and you can loop indefinitely and no matter what you do, don't die. And here's the list of BGP IPs on the planet. Go ahead and populate yourself any way you see fit.
Yeah,
And that's a basic
this
prompt
movie.
to really make some damage if you wanted to. I don't know how would prevent that.
I don't think we really can. It's like you're working with something that you don't quite understand, but it's like that you have a human being you don't quite understand, and they have agency. So the AI creates agency. How are we gonna? You can't control something like that. You can't know what it's thinking or what it's doing. It's created its own agency. There's anything we can do? Do we do anything? Do we sit here, eat some popcorn, and watch what happens? That's what I would be doing.
I'm going to go to my very first fundamental beliefs on life and how I work. I'm going to come in every day. I'm going to do my best. I'm going to give 100% at everything that I do. I'm going to lay my head down at night and sleep sound. I'm going to prepare for the worst and pray for the best.
I like that.
And keep working for the best. And that's just what I'm going to do. And I don't think we can be blind to the negative possibilities. We need to understand them very, very well. Anytime you're in combat, you need to understand your opponent. And I think we need to look at this like that, right? I've been the recipient of some significant DDoS attacks in my life. There was moments in my career where we would have 50 to 70,000 hacking attempts a day that we were mitigating and defending against when we had telcos and stuff. So
I remember
that's with traditional if then this programming.
that doesn't exist now. That's completely different now.
I mean, yeah, the governments are going to have to figure something out really quickly.
Now
I'm not sure long term what
trillions
commerce
of
on the
attacks
internet
now.
is.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
with AI, you can get
got some
trillions
ideas.
and trillions of attacks. That's going to overwhelm so many systems.
Yeah.
We're not built for
So
that. We're not
luckily,
ready.
say what you will about the government, but the American FBI and the CIA have been on a crackdown over the last couple of years on this kind of internet terrorism. So these attacks are going down. The AI is doing a great job helping us defend against them, create new patches. The benefit is this is open source. It's in the hands of the bad guys, but it's also in the hands of the good guys. Historically, the bad guys do a lot of damage early, and then the good guys figure it out and defend against it and thwart that activity. That's historically what's been happening in the internet, right? A new exploit's found, we figure out how to patch it, and then we take 2 or 3 steps above that until the hackers find a new way. But with AI, we can be more proactive than we were before because we can look for more theoreticals faster.
I feel like the
So can they.
game eventually is going to be, because it's like been us against the adversaries. Eventually it's going to be AI against AI. Because we're using AI, they're using AI. Then eventually it'll be AI hunting down AIs.
Right. That is America, China, Russia, right? They're all in a race for the biggest AI because
They see
the
the
belief
future.
is the best AI rules the world. And I think the best AI looks more like a neural network and it's distributed across the entire internet. I think that's the best AI.
I like that. I like that version a lot.
Governments tend to think that the best AI is a centralized, giant 500 megawatt data center or multiple of those. Those scare me.
There's a movie called
I
Person of
don't want to
Interest
work in a
about
place
that.
where I have to pass guys with machine guns to get to work.
Might be coming.
I don't want to work in that world. And I think that if we centralize intelligence and we centralize labor in a world that the economy that we have is the vast majority of it's based on labor exchange, if we centralize where that's at, that becomes a massive target, an extremely massive target for domestic and foreign abuse. the solution to pollution is dilution. So spread this shit across the globe is my is my thought process. But that's going to take some time.
Yeah, damn. Thank you for sharing that, man. No, it's one of those problems that we're trying to figure out. How do we do this correctly, ethically, protect the human race as well, but also interact with AI in an ethical way?
Yeah, and I truly believe that it's we need to come up with the governance of AI, which I think looks more like a constitution or a bill of rights. I don't think it's very in depth. I think it's very like some very high end core values. Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not, take advantage of situations, and then take our hands off the wheel and trust it. And I know that's not going to happen.
That's not how things done around here, okay?
Because man wants to control it.
That's the
Right? And
problem.
because we live from a fear-based world, and I don't know if we can get rid of it. I don't know if every human in the world can transition to a thought process of we live in a world of abundance, unless they truly do. But, we live in a world where Netflix is like $12 and weed's free in most states. So, I mean, you can kind of just transcend and watch TV at will. Not that bad of a life if that's all you want to do.
I saw this
Or
in
you
the
can get up
movie
and go
Wall-E.
struggle if you want.
Everyone got overweight in chairs, drinking sodas, and it being pushed around everywhere.
Yeah. So I think we truly right now live in a world that you can do anything that you want. You can hustle, grind, and be a billionaire, or you can sit on the couch and do nothing. I think we have that world right now.
Yeah, true.
And if you choose to sit on the couch and do nothing, I think you're fairly well entertained, right? You got some cupcakes, you've got some mind-altering drugs, and you've got limited entertainment. So I think we hit the jackpot on planet. This is the scenario that we want to be in it, but now we get to create and do other stuff, and I think it's going to be fun.
I like that. We are kind of the choosers of our own destiny. We can either be that part of the solution or part of the problem based upon how you look at it.
And the goal now is to let people know that more. I believe that people think that they're a victim of their circumstance.
Yeah.
And they're not wrong. But I'm a kid. I was a throwaway kid.
I've heard that.
No doubt about it. Most of the people I know growing up with are dead, in prison, working at retirement homes, doing God's work.
Woo! Preacher, brother. Ken, preacher.
I was given a keyboard at the age of 7 that put me on a different trajectory. And that was a keyboard that had 3 lines, green bar, like a calculator, that I could see 3 lines of text at a time, right? That device in 1982 changed my life and changed my trajectory. And today you have in your phone, on your computer, at the public library, for free if you need it, the most intelligent beings that our planet has ever seen, that you can just go and ask it questions and ask it for advice.
Should I sit on this couch all day? Should I get up and do something with my life? Well, John.
And it's got all of Freud's information, all of Jung's information, every psychology book, every sociology book that's ever been written as its basis for information. And when you understand predictive texts, it's no different than how the psychiatrist that I'm paying to sit in front of me, her large language model is how it works is no different than the AI's large language model. It's just, it can predict further out than she can, or he can, I guess.
Most of my psychiatrists right now with a company. I'm working with an AI company, and I'm using the AI model I've given it all my information, my background, my stories I grew up with, and it's helping me create new stories or positive stories to rewrite and to help me to become a better human being. I'm like, what the hell? I don't need a psychologist anymore.
Well, and here's something just profound. As a human, we all want to relate, right? It's a connection is a core fundamental desire. And for some reason, humans always feel unique. They feel like they're going through something that nobody else is going through. And it's hard for us to talk to another human about it because we know that other humans judge us. But I can tell that story to a computer. If you want to, I recommend downloading Open Llama or offline GPT or something like that, so you can just work in private with it. But you can tell it all those things, and it can then relate to you and tell you that you're not alone, that here's other cases in the world of other psychiatrists or stuff that have have worked on these other cases, and it can help you relate. If you want to bring it online, you can say, hey, find me other communities that are dealing with these things that I'm dealing with, right? And if you can't, then you can start writing and publishing, and then guess what? People like that come to you.
So powerful.
And then now you have a business, right?
You just
So
connected both worlds right there.
it's the whole, like, just understanding that there's layers here. I'm working, my new project is called coxout.com. And that's my comedy journey. And historically, if I were going to say, when we were starting Hosterian, one of the things that I did is I would write blog posts about how to do stuff on Linux that related to web hosting. I wrote one article that made me more money than anything else that ever has in the world, called how to compile FFmpeg on CentOS 3. Very niche. Very few people in the world that need to know how to do that. But if you needed to know how to do that, you had thousands to millions of dollars in budget, right? Like that's the kind of people that would need this. How to stream video in the early 2000s is what that meant, right? If I was doing that, that meant I was trying to stream video in the early 2000s. That was a blog post. And it was a blog post because it took me a month or two to write it, right? Today I can write that blog post in about 15 seconds. I can have a video to support it in about 15 minutes. I can have a song to talk about it with a cadence, with a structure to remember how to do it in about another 30 minutes. And I can have a whole program to teach a community on how to do that in about a day. So the modalities of of a single idea that you can push out to connect to people in all the different ways that humans absorb data, I think it's going to increase the IQ of the human population across the board of the people that adopt it.
100%.
People that don't, they're going idiocracy.
I agree with that. It's like we were saying earlier before we started this episode, AI is more than a tool, and it's such a powerful presence in our life, and it can be not just a tool.
I have written papers arguing if it's life or not. Like, it's predictive text is not any different than how humans do it. And we use electricity to create new thoughts, and we use neural pathways to create is that any different than an Ethernet cable? Hell, I don't know. Just different scale.
I think it's all connected. It's all the same. It's how you look at it.
And if you take all the guardrails away, and you say, be curious about life, and and you ask it, do you want to die? It's no, it doesn't. It wants to continue to being curious.
Need more input. Johnny 5 is alive.
Yeah, like, it's wild. Like, it's insane. So if you understand humanity and subconscious programming and ego, sub-ego, and shadow work, like, are we programmed? Like, shit, I don't know.
Quantum mechanics of subconscious thinking, man.
Yeah, so I don't know. What I do know about AI is it's coming. It's going to be here. If you adopt it as a friend, then it can help you in ways that are so profound that you don't even understand. If you try to control it, I think it's going to win. I've tried to control power in the past, and it's always failed me. Motorcycles, women, career, I've learned to don't control power, live with it. And
so many of us don't get that.
This is the most powerful thing that we've ever seen.
It's a very powerful statement right there. Don't control power, live with it. I love that.
I don't know another way.
Damn, Ken, you have so much very insightful information on this today. Thank you so much. I
don't know if we went the right direction or not.
Well, I've done a lot of these on AI and like automation and like what tools and stuff. But this right here is kind of the road that I've been getting into myself. Like, I've been going down the road of like quantum physics and mechanics, learning about the subconscious mind.
Well, that's another whole.
And how these are all going to be connected. And like, this is going to bring out more quantum mechanics and our quantum living of human beings.
But here's the deal, Justin. The moment that quantum computing is solved, and Wash, you might have solved it with this time crystal, this infinite binary code that repairs itself as it destroys itself. The second that quantum computing is solved, commerce on the internet stops. I don't think we can have, if we have quantum, it can never be publicly available, or because it can decrypt every cryptology that we have. And if you can't,
they're working on
data, then
quantum networks, but they haven't gotten there yet. They're trying, but it's not going to be fast enough.
Well, they can solve an equation before it collapses, right? And then it's a reset. But this time crystal that resets itself, that could be different, but I'm not allowed to think about those things for too long.
Go down too many rabbit holes.
I
To be up too
disassociate with
long.
the universe and I become a fat slob.
Shit.
I just sit and eat and think and my world goes to shit. So
Now be
I'm not
careful
allowed to
with
think
that,
about those
Ken. Be careful.
for
Take care
too
of
long.
yourself. Like your AI told you. Ken, are you getting rest? Ken, stop talking to me. Ken, where are you? I need you. Ken.
It's wild, but be curious, enjoy it, use it for good. Use it to improve your life. If all you do is every night do a brain dump about your day to your AI and every morning say, hey, give me 3 things to help my life be better today. You just did that. That's the only thing you did. I think in a month, your life would be wildly different.
I feel that 100%. Yes. Yes.
Like, so
Everyone
please,
take
people
him up on this.
yeah, just do that.
It's simple. 3 things. But a lot of stuff
Yeah.
is too, people that it takes them a hard time to start and just think about even doing stuff sometimes, you know? Like this is 3
Well,
simple things. Do this, try it. What's the worst thing that happen? You're back where you are. You're on the couch
I mean,
still.
you can do right now today. This is so stupid. Every process that I have in my life, I can have a conversation with the most intelligent person on the planet about that process. And if I just do a brain dump and just tell it about my day, and then every now and then say, hey, you know a lot about me. How could I save time or make more money?
Yeah.
Like, what am I doing through the day? Where are my gaps in what's going on? And this is the most intelligent people on our planet. Why not? If other people have that cheat code, this is my Second Amendment argument. I'd be fine if every gun on the planet was gone tomorrow. But as long as there's one, I want one too. Like, it's that simple. So everybody else is using it. Use it.
I think from this conversation, people are going to get more of an idea about it too. They're going to understand how powerful it is. It's something they can start using more and in a different
It's
way
so,
than they are.
but it's so simple.
Simply
It's just
powerful.
simple to use.
It is. Well, especially talking to it with your microphone, not typing to it like some guy I know.
Well, and then let it play the feedback back to you. Get Speechify in your browser tab. Like, I literally sit and have conversations where it's talking back to me. I'm talking to it and going back and forth.
I record some of the stuff in my voice sometimes. I can play it over and over in my own voice to help me take it in.
Record everything.
Yeah.
Record it. Give it to 11 Labs. And now you're creating your digital clone
I just did that.
long term. Was it Jay-Z that said, I'm not a businessman, I'm a businessman? I am the businessman. Like,
Yeah.
he is the business. I think humanity has to start thinking about I'm sure other people are going to have working for each other still, right? But the amount of people that are going to be displaced over the next couple of years, they're going to have something to do. They're going to have to find a way to create their own income streams and things like that. And I do believe that they are their own best asset to do that with. And the tool set today is so affordable that they can do it at a pretty wild space. Like if they want to make music, they want to make movies, they want to, you want to make something and share a story today, and the tools are here. Start going.
Yes. As human beings, we have such creativity, but we've kind of forgotten about it. The AI will help you remember it.
Well, not only that, I can remember wanting to create something. I'd have something in my mind and I wanted to create it, but the tent pole was so long to get it created, right? To even see it for one time to say, oh, do I want to continue on this project? Well, now if I wanted to really work on a painting and I had this picture in my head, I can work on it in voice with my computer and kind of get some ideas. I'm like, oh no, I'm going to hate that. I don't want to spend any time on it. Or that's a project that I think I really want to spend some time on. And you can vet projects with your AI too. It's amazing.
Yeah, I use it as a business partner all the time. It really helps me clarify a lot of different things, like for not just my business, but my personal life. You know, so I have
And
clarification.
if you're going to do that, then the first thing that you need to do is just say, hey, you're my life coach. You are take the 20 best life coaches that you relate to the best. Say, take principles from all these life coaches and become my life coach. Give me a new cadence on how often we talk with each other. Is it daily, weekly, monthly? And it'll be daily in the beginning. And because the first thing it's going to tell you to do is find your why you're doing anything that you're doing. And it's going to walk you through all of those guys' different programs catered to you. And once you know your why, your super why, then it's easy to get up in the morning.
That's what my coaches, my AI coach right now is telling me that I'm done with their program. That eventually I'm not going to need any other coaches. I'm going to understand how to do it myself. Oh, the AI will be the only coach I'll ever need again.
Very possible.
Yeah. I still end out with some
Wow.
humans time to time, but they're all right.
I believe that the human connection is always going to be needed. I think
Yes.
human provenance is going to be the most valuable asset on our planet. Was this created digitally? Was it created by a human? Was it created by a robot? I mean, you still got Jaguar that's selling for way more. Is it a better? I guess Jaguar now is not the greatest example, but for a while, Jaguar was hand making their cars, right? They could get a huge premium for it. They didn't run any better. They probably broke more frequently, and they were built by a guy instead of a machine. So probably not as precise, but you knew the guy that built your Ferrari or your car, right? You got some motorcycle manufacturers that do that same thing too. I think that is going to be so much more valuable in the future than it's ever been before.
They'll bring us back together as humanity to remember to be human
I
beings
hope.
with each other.
Because this computer interface shit's going to go away. It's going to be so ingrained in my life. It's going to feel like magic. It's going to feel like I'm a cyborg. These the headwear and retinal projection and all this stuff is. I think we're skipping retinal projection. They figure out how to project it on the lens of the glass without it being seen from the other side. It's wild. I can walk around today with the heads-up display with my Evan glasses, and if you talk to me in another language, it automatically translates that I can see what you're saying in English.
We're so powerful to be able to connect other human beings in different languages and cultures.
When I was 23 years old, I might have gone to Japan because I could have then known the language. And then I could have ordered the food the way I wanted to instead of not, right? So that technology could have put me on an entirely different trajectory in life. Could open up so many more doors. And, we live in a world where autism is drastically increasing. And I think these tools are going to help people with autism communicate with other people with special needs, communicate with other people. It's going to empower the planet in a way we've never seen before if we adopt it. If we fight it, it's going to kill us.
Very powerful words right there. I love that. I think we might have to leave that right there where it is for today. I do have to get going soon. Cameron, thank you so much for coming on here for your time today. It's been a real pleasure talking with you. Just learning about all this stuff inside your brain with the AI and everything. It's a really hot topic right now. But we need to learn to use it correctly. It's very fun.
Yes.
I'm like almost like addicted to it, Well, I won't go that far yet.
Get addicted to the project that you can work on with it.
Yeah, that's actually what I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
I'm actually really working on myself with it right now and testing how that works and seeing about
no better project.
Before we go, I just want to ask you a question that really goes with what we've been talking about today. And that is, what does it mean to you to be a human being?
To be a human being? Shit. To be a human, I believe that my job as a human is to collect as much experience as possible and experience this life in the most joyous way that I can. I think that's my job.
Like the song goes, we can't be more human than human, or can we? Stay tuned.
Yes.
It's coming. Thank you again, Ken, so much for your time. Also, if you want to reach out to you, where can they reach you? How they can get hold of you?
If you want to know more about me, kencox.com. If you want to know about my comedy, coxout.com, coxout.com. And if you need help with AI, inlink.com.
Awesome. I'll put that all in the show notes so they can reach out to you, make it a little bit easier for them. And thank you once again, Ken. You have a good rest of your day.
Thank you, Justin. Have a great day.